Hey guys, so Alyssa here over Books and Cats, and today I shall be doing my November and December wrap-up. This isn't going to be a thorough wrap-up just because I want to get it done, I want to get it over with, and I just want to wrap it up, talk about it, and then be done. I read 18 things in December and November. I completed my Goodreads goal. Quite happy with that. One thing, I dyed my hair. I dyed it. I love it. It's great. Highly recommend. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melissa. Welcome to my channel. Hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy. And let's just jump into it, shall we? First two books. Not going to go into much detail at all because I talked about them in my worst books of 2017, but that was Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. This was a DNF. Just putting that out there. I talk about it in the worst books, so just go watch that. And the next one is a book that I did finish called The Last Time I'll Write About You by Dawn Lanuza. Didn't care for it at all, but I go into why I didn't like those. So I shall hopefully link it above, hopefully if future editing, uploading me remembers. The next book is a book that I never rated, and I don't know what to rate it because it was intense and disturbing, and it was just, I don't know how to rate it. And that is The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. Just do not know what to rate this book because so many feelings. It was disturbing, it was intense, it was well done, I think. But I just was so disturbed that I could not rate it. So yeah, if you're looking for a more intense Hunger Games short story, do recommend. The next book is Lumberjanes Volume 5. Finally getting back to this series. I rated this one a 3 out of 5 stars, and sadly I did not enjoy it that much. I do remember not enjoying Volume 4 that much, and sure enough, I didn't care for Volume 5. I just thought that it didn't go with the rest of the series. It just felt weird, it just felt thrown in, it just felt like it was thrown together at like the last minute or something, if that makes any sense. I still like the series, so if you're looking for a good graphic novel series about kick-butt females, do recommend. The next book that I read was actually a book that I owned, and that is The Princess in Disguise by E.D. Baker. This is the fourth book in the Tales of a Wide Awake Princess series. I love this series. I think it's a wonderful, fluffy, cute, middle grade series. And I love it. So I gave it a, what did I give it? I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was Graceling by Christa. This book I was quite excited for because this book has been on my TBR for so long. I have contemplated unhauling this many times. I've had it for so long. It's been at least probably 3 or 4 years. I heard wonderful things about it. I heard so many people loved it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to give it a shot. And I'm glad I did. I really liked it. It would have been a 5-star if it had been like 150 pages less, sadly. I just feel like the last like 100 or so pages didn't need to happen in the way that it happened. I felt like it could have happened a lot sooner and a lot quicker, and I just felt like because it dragged on, it ended up making the ending not as exciting for me. I still like it, but definitely would recommend the audiobook because it's a full cast audiobook. And it makes it go by much easier and quickly, and is much easier to get done, I find. Also, if you're looking for a kick-butt main female character and a love interest that doesn't stop her from doing anything and doesn't try to control her, highly recommend. And the next 5 books I read, they were all manga, and they were volumes 4 through 9 of Cheese Sweet Home. I love this series. Basically, if you're not familiar with Cheese Sweet Home, it is a manga series about a cat and about her adventures being a cat and being with her family and just discovering things about herself, and it's just touches on my emotions so much, makes me so emotional. The next book that I read was Lumberjanes Volume 6, and this I gave a 4 out of 5 stars because really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than the previous one. And the next book that I read was another graphic novel, and that was Lost at Sea by Brian Lee O'Malley. I surprisingly really enjoyed this, like a lot somehow. I had seen very mixed things on Goodreads from who I'm friends with, and I do like Brian Lee O'Malley. I do know that he can be problematic, and this one was definitely a little bit, it had the R word retarded in it, so if you're sensitive to that, this is an old graphic novel. Not that I'm excusing it or anything, but it is not new, so there's that. And there was just like stupid male stereotypes that like slightly bothered me, because that kind of stuff just irritates me. And somehow Brian Lee O'Malley makes me care about people that like I somehow don't care about, but I care about what happens to them. It's kind of impressive. The next two that I read were actually poetry books, and they are both by the same author. And the first one is Sea of Strangers by Lang Liav. I enjoyed this. I got it from NetGalley, and it was great. It was a good time. I gave it a 4 to 5 stars. This is probably like my second to favorite book of hers. It was good. I liked it, and I intend to eventually buy myself a copy when I'm not #poor. And the next book that I read from her, which is my favorite book of hers so far, is The Universe of Us by Lang Liav. I love this. This is good. This is good. This is by far my favorite work of hers. If I were to rate her works, I would rate this is my like top fave, and then Sea of Strangers, and then after that it would be Love and Misadventure, and then Lullabies last, because I was not a fan of Lullabies. But yeah, in the end of 2017, I read 3 books of hers, and this was by far my favorite. The next one is another graphic novel, and that is The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl Volume 3 by Ryan North. I loved this one. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was wonderful. I loved it. It was great. I like where the series is going, and I love the series because I think it makes a lot of fun. Like, it pokes fun at itself a lot, which I like. The second to last book that I read was another book that I owned crazy, and that is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Finally, I got to this, and I was that guy. I went and saw this when it first came out, and I was like, but I only read the book first. So I read the book in like a day, in like 2 sittings, and I loved it because I love the message that it gives, which is to always choose kindness, and I just love that message. I think everybody needs to read this book, not just children or young adults. I think everyone should, because I think it teaches a good lesson, because let's be honest, a lot of people suck. So I did not know going into it that it was multiple POV, which is really, really interesting. I really liked how the story was told, so 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. And the last book that I shall be talking about is another favorite of the year, which was Furthermore by Taheda Mafi. If you want more of my thoughts, it will be in my best books of 2017, as with Wonder, but loved this. This was great. 5 out of 5 stars. And I am pumped because she is coming to like an hour away from me in March for the Restore Me tour, and I'm like crying and like freaking out and like just thinking about how I get to meet my queen, and I'm just like dying inside. So those were the 18 things I read in November and December of 2017. Quite happy to wrap this up. Quite happy it's over. If you noticed, I changed my format in wrapping up books. I've decided to start with my like lowest rated to highest rated books in my wrap up, because I've seen other formats of that and I really, really like it. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna go read, because I haven't done that in a couple days, and that's all I got. So yeah, if you guys have read any of the books, please let me know down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I shall see you next time. Bye.